Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. We are reading Jami Tirmidhi. The chapter is on salat. If you're gonna listen to this, I recommend listening to it as you're doing your commute. Put it on a playlist on your watch later while you wash dishes. Okay, let's begin. We left off on number 190. Ibn Umar narrated, when the Muslims arrived in Al-Madinah, they used to assemble for the salah and guess the time for it. There was no one who called it for the prayer. One day they discussed, and some of them said that they should use a bell like the bells the Christians use. Others said they should use a trumpet like the horn the Jews use. But Umar bin al-Khattab said, wouldn't it be better if we had a man call for the prayer? He said, so Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, O Bilal, stand up and call for the salah. Sahih. And so as we learn that Bilal was the first one to do the call, the adhan. Abu Isa said, this hadith is Hasan Sahih Garib, as a narration of bin Umar. Chapter 26. What has been related about at-Tariji in the adhan? Abu Madhura narrated that Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, sat with him and taught him the adhan word for word. Ibrahim said, it is the same as our adhan. Bushir said, so I said to him, repeat it to me. So he described the adhan with at-Tariji. Hasan. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Abu Mahdura about the adhan is a sahih hadith, and it has been reported from him by more than one raw. This is acted upon in Mecca, and it is the view of the Ash-Shafi'i. Comments. Tariji means to call two declarations with a low voice for the first time, and then to repeat it with a louder voice for a second time. Okay, very important. Okay, and that is spelled actually Tarji. Abu Mahdura narrated that the Prophet, peace be upon him, taught him the adhan with 19 phrases and the ikama with 17 phrases. Sahih. Abu Isa said, this hadith is Hasan Sahih. Abu Madhura's name is Samura bin Miyar. Some of the people of knowledge held this view about the adhan, and it has been related that Abu Madhura would say the phrases of the ikama once. Chapter 27. What has been related about saying the phrases of the ikama once? Anas bin Malik narrated, Bilal was ordered to make the phrases of the adhan even, and the phrases of the ikama odd. Sahih. There is a narration on this topic from Ibn Umar. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Anas is a Hasan Sahih hadith. This is the saying of some of the people of knowledge among the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the Tabi'een. It is the view of Malik, Ash-Shafi'i, and Ahmad and Ishaq. Excellent. Chapter 28. What has been related about saying the phrases of the ikama 2 times each? Abdullah bin Zayd said, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, would say each phrase of the call for prayer 2 times, for the adhan and the ikama daif. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Abdullah bin Zayd was reported by Waqi, from Al-Lamash, from Amr bin Murrah, from Abdul Rahman bin Abi Layla, that Abdullah bin Zayd saw the adhan in a dream. Shuba said, from Amr bin Murrah, from Abdul Rahman bin Abi Layla, who said, The companions of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, narrated to us, Abdullah bin Zayd saw the adhan in a dream. And this is more correct than the narration of Ibn Abi Layla. Abdurrahman bin Abi Layla did not hear from Abdullah bin Zayd. Some of the people of knowledge said that the adhan is 2 phrases for each part, and the iqama is 2 phrases each. This is the saying of Sufyan al-Thawri, Ibn al-Mubarak, and the people of al-Kufa. Abu Isa said, Ibn Abi Layla is Muhammad bin Abdurrahman bin Abi Layla. He was a judge in al-Kufa, and he did not hear anything from his father, but he narrated from a man from his father. And then there's some comments here for us. According to Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ahmed, and the majority of the people of knowledge, the phrases of the iqama are 11, saying Allahu Akbar in the beginning and in the end, Kad mis salah, the prayer is established twice. Chapter 29. What has been related about this saying with the phrases of the adhan, with deliberateness and slowly. Jabir bin Abdullah narrated, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said to Bilal, O Bilal, when did you call the adhan? Then do so deliberately and slowly. And when you call the iqama, then be quick. Allow enough time between your adhan and the iqama for the person eating to finish what he is eating, the person drinking to finish what he is drinking, and the one who needs time to relieve himself, and do not stand until you see me. Daif. There's a comment here for us. Although this narration is weak, yet it is still the practice of the Ummah that a brief pause should be made at the end of each phrase. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, only may be combined together. The phrases of the iqama are called faster and without a pause. Oh, interesting. Look at that. Chapter 30. What has been related about putting the fingers in the ears for the adhan? Oh, you've seen that, I've seen that. Let's see if it's allowed or not. Abu Juhayfa narrated, I saw Bilal calling the adhan and turning, and his face was following here and there, and his index fingers were in his ears, and Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, was in a small red tent. I think one of the narrators said, it was made from a hide. So Bilal went out in front of him with an anaza, which he planted in the ground at Batha. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, prayed facing it, and a dog and a donkey passed in front of him. He was wearing a red hula, and it is as if I am now looking at the radiance of his shins. Sufyan said, we think that it was a hibra. Sahih. Okay, so we got some words here. Anaza means a short spear. Okay. Batha is a place outside of Mecca. Okay. And then, one was and the other one was a garment that is not all red, but has some red and black patterns on it. Oh, cool, look at that. Stylish. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Abu Juhayfa is a Hasan Sahih hadith. This is acted upon by the people of knowledge. They consider it recommended to place the fingers in the ears for the adhan. Okay, look at that. Okay, fingers in the ears. And then we're going to do a little, just write the adhan. A-D-H-A-N. Okay, so comments here for us. When calling the adhan, the aim is to make the voice loud, and the voice appears louder by thrusting a finger into each ear. The loud voice is needed for the adhan, while it is not needed for the iqama. Oh, that's really interesting. Look at that. Yeah, when you put your fingers in your ears, you definitely kind of go louder. Chapter 31. what has been related about at-thawwib in the adhan, which means to repeat a phrase, but here the author intended saying as-salatu harimin an-naum. Prayer is better than sleep. For the Fajr prayer, tufaha al-ahwadhi. Wow, we're learning a lot of vocabulary today. Bilal narrated, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said to me, do not say the tathwib for any prayer except for Fajr prayer. Daif. He said, there is something on this topic from Abu Marhura. Abu Isa said, we do not know of the hadith of Bilal except as a narration of Abu Israel al-Mulai. Abu Israel did not hear this hadith from Al-Hakam bin Utaybah. He said, he only reported it from Al-Hasan bin Umara, from Al-Hakim bin Utaybah. Abu Israel's name is Ismail bin Abi Ishaq, and he is not strong according to the people of Hadith. The people of knowledge have differed over the interpretation of Athawib. Some say that Athawib is when someone says As-salatu harimin an-naum. Prayer is better than sleep. For the adhan at Fajr. This is the saying of Ibn al-Mubarak and Ahmad Ibn al-Mubarak. Love that name. Ishaq said something different about al-thawib. Tathwib. He said the dislike tathwib is something that the people started after the Prophet, peace be upon him. And the muwadihin calls the adhan, and the people are slow in coming. So between the adhan and the iqamah he says, Qad qamati salah, hayya as-salah, hayya al-falah. Prayer is ready, come to prayer, come to success. He said, this tathwib, which Ishaq mentioned, is the one that the people of knowledge dislike, which they innovated after the Prophet, peace be upon him. But Ibn al-Mubarak and Ahmad explained that tathwib is when the muadhin says as-salatu hayrun minan naum. Prayer is better than sleep, of the adhan of Fajr. And this is the correct saying, and it is called at-tathawwub as well. And this is one chosen by the people of knowledge, and it is their opinion. It has been reported from Abdullah bin Umar that he would say, As-salatu hayrun minan naum. Prayer is better than sleep for Fajr. It has been reported from Mujahid that he said, I entered a masjid with Abdullah bin Umar, in which the adhan was called, and he wanted to pray in it. Then the muadhin said the tathwib. So Abdullah bin Umar left the masjid and said, let us leave the place of this innovator. And he did not pray in it. He said Abdullah only disliked tathwib that the people invented later on. Interesting. So Abdullah bin Umar, he didn't like the tathwib, and he didn't want to be in the place of an innovator. Wow. Quite interesting. Comments. It is agreed unanimously that saying as-salatu hayrun minan naum, prayer is better than sleep in the adhan, for holding the morning prayer is sunnah. Okay, that's important for us. And proven from the authentic ahadith. Behold, making aware the unaware person about prayer at home, in a meeting or walking on a path, or to awake a sleeping one, is unanimously lawful, and none named it tathwib. Okay. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. We learned quite a lot. There was a lot of interesting names we have to learn. So that phrase, as-salatu harimin, harimin an-naum. Prayer is better than sleep, but the Fajr prayer is a new thing we have to learn. Okay, we have a lot to learn as well. At-tathawub and at-tathwib. MashaAllah.